Okay. Should be working. Hold on. There I am. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Anybody? I don't know if anybody's even here yet. Hold on. Check some things out. Nope. Doesn't look like anything's happening here. Oh, there we go. Okay, so apparently there's a really big delay. So I record and it pops up like 5-10 seconds later. So, hooray! Chob's here! Awesome! Hey, how's it going? How are my levels? Am I too loud? Am I not loud enough? You are not a bot. Although some of my Patreons are robots, so maybe. Okay, like I said, this is the first time I'm doing this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just kind of playing around with OBS. Oh, cool. Thank you, Monshare. Okay, well, while I'm sitting here looking at my screen trying to figure... Oh, wait, I got a light. Woo! There we go. Hi. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my questions. If I can get them to pop up. There we go. So these are just silly trivia questions I came up with on the fly in the last, like, half an hour, so... Just give you something to talk about. Awesome, bleep bloop. Okay. Hold on. Still trying to figure out what to do here. Okay. So hi. This is just a test. I don't know what you guys want to talk about, but I'm here. So the music's not too loud, my voice isn't too loud, anything like that. I'm just glad it's working. That makes me happy. I don't know how to fill this dead space. There's lots of pressure. At least if I were doing my actual Q&A, which I'm going to do on Sunday, I would have the questions in front of me and I'd be able to just talk. But right now I feel like I'm at a loss. I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared to do anything. Hold on. Let me look at something. Something weird's happening on my screen. Whoop. Ah! Where'd it go? Yeah, there we go. Where'd my questions go? There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, I knew they would be googly. The last one can't be googled, but you can still figure it out if you go to my channel and look at all my videos. But if you go to my channel and look at all my videos, I still win. So, hey. Hey, Martial Arts Film Freak is here. How's it going, man? Love your channel. You and Chob both. Great videos. And I've got a list of martial arts movies, like, as long as my arm, just from you, Martial Arts Film Freak. Hold on, I'm still trying to do some things. Howdy ho, Alex. This is cool. How many people do I have watching? I don't even know how to check that without like going to the actual video. Okay, I got 5 people watching me. That's cool. So yeah, I know there's other ways to stream with like more fancy software, but OBS is free, and it seems to be anything I need. Anyway, and I managed to set up the screen transition, so let me see if that works. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go full screen. Ah! Hi, how's it going? Now we'll go back. Oh, and the questions are actually still there this time. That's good. So yeah, talk to me. Give me questions. Do something. I don't know. I have to have something to talk about. I'm really bad at this, apparently. Wow, I'm suddenly so self-conscious. Ah, Van Helsing. Okay. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I haven't seen it all the way through. I've seen the beginning of it. I have nothing against Stephen Sommers, the director. He's very goofy, very guilty pleasure-y. His movies aren't good movies, but they can be fun. Yeah, I can't really speak on Van Helsing because I haven't actually seen the whole thing. I've only seen the beginning. I have no idea. I have no idea, Monsieur. Oh, wow! Thrash is here! Ah, I knew you'd get here. I can always count on you, Thrash. I guess I showed up on your first test stream, so it's only fair you show up on mine. You're actually one of the reasons I'm doing this. Like, I was thinking about it before you did it, but then I said, if Thrash can do it, come on, I can do it. Nah, you're awesome, Thrash. Let's see. Have I ever recorded a video in my underwear? Well, since I'm usually not on camera, probably. The Mummy. Which one are we talking about? The Stephen Sommers one, the Brandon Fraser one. I mean, I like it. I am extremely. It's a yes for me. It's a. Oh boy, I'm self-conscious. I almost want to turn this light off. There, you can't see me. Yeah. There, turn it back on. I wish it didn't reflect so much on my glasses. It's kind of weird. But at least you can tell it's not one of those ring lights. If I could do one classic sci-fi novel as a modern feature film, what would it be? I don't even have to think about that. It's Rendezvous with Rama. I know that Morgan Freeman and David Fincher were working on it for a really long time, but never managed to get it off the ground. And I think Hollywood's really afraid of it because it's basically just a big... It would be a special effects spectacle without actually having a plot, really. Like Rendezvous with Rama, they go to... if you don't know, there's a spaceship that appears in our solar system and is hurtling towards what we think is the Earth, but it's really hurtling towards the sun. So we send a ship over to rendezvous with it. We call it Rama. Rendezvous with Rama, there's the title. And they go inside and they just explore, and it's all kinds of craziness. It's really weird inside, and there's like alien robots, and there's like a river right down the middle. It's like it's the interior of a cylinder, and it's constantly spinning, so that's how it has gravity. And it deals with all kinds of weird physics. It's Arthur C. Clarke, so it's very like hard science. The problem is that there's not really a plot beyond that. Like, that is the plot. And then they figure out that it's actually going to go past the sun and just hurtle right back out of our solar system. Like, spoiler alert, sorry. That Rama was just using us as a way station, and it didn't really care about us. It didn't care about Earth. So, like, there's not much to it. And the characters, as much as I love Arthur C. Clarke, and he's one of my favorite writers, he's not very good with characters. And the characters in Rendezvous with Rama are all very dry and not all that interesting. So, like, you'd need a screenwriter who's really good with characters and really good with dialogue to sell it. And obviously you'd need a big budget, and you'd need directors who know how to deal with special effects. So, there you go. Rendezvous with Rama. So, that was the long answer. So thank you. That was a great question. More questions like that will get me talking. Highlander or Dragonheart? Oh, wow. Highlander's the better movie, but I think Sean Connery's performance in Dragonheart is better. And also I have a soft spot for Dragonheart because, I saw it when I was a teenager. So I don't know if I had a notification. I know that, like, when I set up this live stream, for some reason, even though in OBS, which is how I set it up through OBS, I put it as AM. When it got to YouTube, it was PM. So it really messed everything up. So I don't know. Let's see. how would I adapt Day of the Triffids? And that's really tricky. I did finally get around to watching the more recent BBC version, and it's not good. It's not all bad, but it wasn't very good. I don't know. I really like the approach of the 1980s version, the one I did a video on. So I don't know. I'd have to think more on that. Maybe I'll get to that when I do my actual Q&A, even though this is kind of like a Q&A now. Godzilla vs. Megaguirus was the final Honda directed movie. That is incorrect. Although I do like that one. That's one of the... I think that's the first... No, not the first, but like the second Millennia Godzilla movie. That may be the last one he produced. Maybe that's how you're getting confused. I'm not really sure. But I do know the last one that he directed. Battlefield Earth, done right. Amazing. Reed Hubbard... Not... Amazing. Hubbard notwithstanding. Yeah, I did like the book, and I remember being excited about the movie when it came out. And even watching it for the first time, I was in denial about what I was seeing. Like, I left the theater going, yeah, that was a really good movie. And I looked over at my friends. I'm like, yeah, that was good, right? Right? No, it was terrible, wasn't it? It's like, done right, it could be a good movie. What a weird movie that was. Oh, from the point of view of the Triffids, there's a cool idea. Definitely more of an indictment on mankind, for sure. Which is always good in sci-fi, right? Monsterverse theory. Gyra and Sanda will be Kong clones. Who are Gyra and Sanda? I haven't... Has there been more Monsterverse news lately? Last I heard, they were thinking of doing a Son of Kong. Hopefully it has nothing to do with the movie, the actual existing Son of Kong, which I think I did it. Yeah, I did a video on that. It's not a bad movie, but like, it wouldn't fit in the Monsterverse like at all. It doesn't have that cheesy over-the-topness that the Monsterverse has. And don't get me wrong, I love the Monsterverse, and I love Son of Kong. I just don't think they work together. So, oh, it's definitely epically. Yeah. There, I don't know if you can see it. Yep. Wow, it's like the camera's backwards, so it's very confusing. There's an E right there. There we go. Favorite East Asian dish? Well, it depends on what you're... Does Japan qualify as East Asian, or is it just Japan? Because, let's see. I don't know, I got a lot of favorite... Yeah, teppanyaki is amazing. Any kind of, like, actual real ramen, even the fake stuff that you buy for, like, you know, $1 billion for $100. I'll eat that any day. But, like, real ramen that you get from, like, an actual Japanese restaurant, and you've got the, like, the hard-boiled egg, and you've got all the stuff in it. I love that stuff. I could eat that all day. Hold on, I'm gonna mute so that you don't have to hear this. Little known fact about me, I have a deviated septum. You can see my nose is kind of like off center. So I'm constantly snorting and having to blow my nose. And every time I do a recording, it's one of the reasons I haven't done a live videos, because I'm really self-conscious about that. But doing the podcasts over the last, it's almost been a year, hasn't it? Wow. No, it hasn't been that long. When was Foundation? I don't even remember. But doing that has really helped with my self-consciousness about all that. War of the Gargantuans. He did direct that, but it wasn't really a Godzilla film. Oh, Indian. Okay. Wow. I really like Rogan Josh, especially lamb, or good tandoori chicken, obviously. Like, who doesn't love a tandoori chicken? But the one I make here at home, I just make a very simple butter chicken, chicken makhani. I make that here because my wife loves it. And I'm finally getting my son to start eating Indian food. He has a bad thing with Indian food because when he was 5, I think, we went to an Indian restaurant and he had some, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the naan that's got like everything in it. And when we got home, he started throwing up. And he didn't stop because it turns out he's allergic to peanuts, and there were peanuts in the naan. So he, for years, associated Indian food with throwing up all night long, like throwing up his body weight, because that's basically what he did. But he's finally gotten past that, so that's good. England! Yay! Cheers, I guess. Godzilla versus Gamera. Is that even a movie? I wish that was a movie. I know that they did like a... it was like a musical on the street or something where they finally had Godzilla and Gamera at the same time. But that was it. It was just like a little street play. They haven't actually done a movie. I really wish they would. It would be so awesome. And, you know, I don't dislike Gamera. I think some of the Gamera movies are really, really bad. But it would be fun to see Godzilla and Gamera on screen at the same time. I would love that. Rendezvous with Ramen. I can't compete with you in the pun game, Thrash. I really can't. Mighty Joe Young. No, but it is... you can't see it from here, but it is on my shelf, and it is one I'm planning on getting to by the end of the year. It's definitely very high on my list. You can tell I love King Kong, Son of Kong. I love the old... Yeah. Really want to get into Mighty Joe Young because it was kind of like their second take on the same material. Who was my first horror movie crush? That is a really good question. I know if my friend John were here, he'd be upset if I don't say Ripley, but it's not really Ripley. I don't know. I really got to think about that. I really did like Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, I'll just go with that. Jamie Lee Curtis. I'd have to think about it some more to give you a real honest answer. You know, there's other questions popping up. So many questions. Was it Dino De Laurentiis that James Cameron worked for? He might have, but that's not who I'm referring to. I don't think he did. I think he might have worked with him a little later in his career. I'm not 100% sure if Dino De Laurentiis and James Cameron ever crossed paths. Let's see. Looking forward to that Renfield movie. Nicolas Cage will be playing Dracula. Yeah, I've seen set photos of Nicolas Cage dressed as Dracula. I'm super psyched. I love it. I'm a sucker for Nick Cage. Whether he's playing it serious or he's playing it full-on Nick Cage, I'm always there. I love it. I haven't yet seen The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, although it's very high on my list of much-watched movies. I just don't get out to the movies much anymore, so I tend to see them when they come out on streaming and stuff. Wow, I actually caught up on all the questions. So let me go back to that, let's see, horror movie crush. I don't know, you guys tell me, what were some of your favorite, or your first horror movie crushes? Maybe that'll help me narrow down my answer. There was one of the later Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. I think like maybe the third one. I can't remember the actress's name. Anyway. Charles Band. No, but you're in the right ballpark. The Ghost Rider movies. They are absolutely ridiculous and stupid and terrible, and I could watch them at any time. I love them. Especially the second one. I really like the second one. It's just so balls to the wall, like in your face. This is what we're going to do, and we're just going to do it. I respect the hell out of that. Janet Leigh in Psycho. That's a good one. I really do like Janet Leigh. And there's that one scene where she's in a bra. Yeah, that definitely stirred something in me when I was a kid. Kelly Moreno from Night of the Comet. I haven't actually seen Night of the Comet, I know. I'm going to have to admit some things in these videos. It's going to take away my cred. Oh, well, Tiffany from Bride of Chucky. What's the actress's name? Can't remember her name. But yeah, definitely. She's something else. Roger Corman, we have a winner. Yes, James Cameron used to work for Roger Corman. Roger Corman's the one who gave him his career, basically. When James Cameron set out to make Terminator, he had to get Roger Corman's blessing, basically, and Roger Corman had to convince other people. He had to convince the studios that like this is a real person. He's not just working with me at AFI and just making crap movies. He's a real talent, and he should be making better movies than the kind of stuff I put out. So I'm so impressed with that. Hey, No Market Media made it here finally. Who isn't happy with Jamie Lee Curtis? Is the correct answer to that question, right? Yeah, I mean, it's the obvious answer. And I spent so much time trying to think of another answer because it was such the obvious answer. Let's see. I was born in the late 70s, so I was so it was obvious. Drew Barrymore. Okay, yeah, Drew Barrymore. That's a good one. Um, First horror movie crush. Elsa Lanchester. Wow, that's... How old are you, young Jim? Okay, yeah, we all have a crush on Jack Fitzpatrick, okay? No matter what he has to say about Mad Max and how pissed off he's made a lot of my commenters, we all love Jack Fitzpatrick. Uma Thurman is Poison Ivy. Superhero movie crushes. Okay, we're going there now. Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. Yeah, okay. That leather. Stitched leather. It's something. Yeah, I don't know. Does heavy metal count? Terror of Mechagodzilla. Did you look it up? Did you look it up? But yes, that was the last movie that Ishiro Honda directed. As in the last Godzilla movie, not the last movie he directed. So we've got 2 answers already. Here, let me go ahead and mark that down. So we all know that we got this one. Let's see, how do I strike through? And this one. Boom. Okay. Cameron should have gotten Mr. Ellison's blessing while he was at it. Yeah, he should have. Oh, yeah, Ellen Page and Hard Candy. Linda Blair, good choice, good choice. Jennifer Aniston was in Leprechaun. That's a good point. When I was older, let's see, it came out in 2004, so I would have been like 22. When I was 22, what's her name from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake? Man, I can't remember the actress's name, but man, I have a crush on her. She's still good. But in that movie in particular, just... I'm a boobs guy. What can I say? Yeah, Terror Mechagodzilla is so underrated. I'm really glad to hear somebody else loves it, because I do too. It's actually one of my favorite Showa eras. I think it's one of Honda's best. It's kind of like his final statement on Godzilla. It's really good. The other underrated favorite that I talk about a lot is Godzilla versus Destroya, or Destoroya. That one is like... That's almost as good, in my estimation, as the original Godzilla. So, let's see, Jennifer Aniston. Yeah, Mac and Me was also a horror movie, so yeah, that counts. Let's see. Yeah, I really want to do more Godzilla films. I actually just got Mothra, and I'm planning on doing a video on Mothra in the next, month or two. Like, I really want to get to it. And right now I'm working on Flight of the Navigator, so you all get a sneak peek. Flight of the Navigator. Jessica Biel, thank you. My brain kept wanting to say Jessica Alba. I'm like, no, that's wrong. I know that's wrong. But thank you, Jessica Biel. Yeah. Oh, wow. We're listening to a song that actually has my voice in it. I'm going to skip that because I'm already self-conscious enough. There we go. Return of the Living Dead? Well, what about the zombies? I mean, especially the zombies. I'm not here to yuck your yum. I used to pretend it was Titanosaurus crushing submarines in the swimming pool. Yeah, man, Titanosaurus. Of all the list of, like, Godzilla villains, like, iconic Godzilla villains, nobody ever mentions Titanosaurus, I mean, granted, Gigan is awesome, and Mothra, obviously, is Mothra, but nobody ever mentions Titanosaurus. People mention Rodan before they mention Titanosaurus, and Rodan's just a big pterodactyl. I love Rodan. Yeah, glad you agree with me on the Destoroya. Clutch. I'm glad to see you here, Clutch. Thought you disappeared. 12 Monkeys. Yeah, I love that movie. I actually have the movie it's based on. It's in French, and I can't remember the title off the top of my head. And I thought about doing a review of that, but it's so short, and it's basically just a bunch of still images with voiceover, so it wouldn't really work for what I do. 12 Monkeys came out in, I want to say 95, 97, somewhere. I think it was set in 97, but it came out like only a couple years before that. So it's still a few years before it hits my 30-year limit. Like, the movie has to be at least 30 years old before I cover it. That's just my rule, and I'm sticking to it. Even though I can't enunciate a reason for it, I just have that rule. That's my rule. Would have thought that La Planète Sauvage had the most views, but apparently it's Soylent Green. You're right. La Jetée. Thank you, Charles. La Planète Sauvage actually does have a lot of views. It might be my second most watched video. But yeah, it's Soylent Green. My Soylent Green video, even like when I first posted it, it's the first video I ever posted that got like 1,000 views within a week. And that's only happened maybe half a dozen times since. Like, it was weird to me at the time. Like, it just blew up out of nowhere. Like, I was not expecting it. Like, I know everybody loves Soylent Green and all, but I did not expect it to explode the way it did. And now, if you go there, you just have to go there and read the comments. I don't care if you watch the video. Just read the comments, because those comments are so insane. I love it. 1999. Okay. Have you ever stared at your own hand until you realized it wasn't yours? That is an odd question. I did some things in college that I shouldn't talk about on live YouTube, but the short answer is yes. Child Tunes, put the song back on. It sounded like something Angelina Jolie, Lara Croft would listen to after a sweet robot cave training fight. I guess you are all here to listen to my voice, yeah. Man, I could get out my actual when I was in an actual band and not just electronic music. I was the lead singer, and I have a demo. The sound is terrible. Like, the recording, it wasn't professionally done. It was done by my friend who was just learning how. And no offense, we did everything at his house because he had all the equipment. So like, I'm not dissing my friend Tyler, but yeah, I could play those for you, but I don't want to. Oh, thank you, Thrash. I'm glad you loved my Soylent Green post. I like it too. Like, I do like the video. And I felt like I handled the politics part of it very well, because it's very easy for me to get a little bit too political if I let myself go. And I was very restrained. I was very restrained, trying to sound very reasonable. Kate Beckinsale. Oh, man. Kate Beckinsale. Yeah. Underworld. And I've seen her in Van Helsing. I haven't seen the whole movie, but I've seen her in Van Helsing. She is something. I like her in just about everything she's in. Even if it's a terrible movie, even if she's a terrible actress in it, which doesn't really happen very often. Just like looking at her. Of all your posts, which one are you the most proud of? 2001. Easy. Like, I don't even have to think about it. I put the most work into that. Like, a little behind the scenes, I had been working on that video for about 6 months. Like, the actual editing and putting together the video I did in a week, but the background information and then the script and all that stuff, I worked all that out with it. It took me 6 months, because I knew 2,000 subscribers was going to hit eventually, and it was my son's idea, actually, to do 2001 as soon as it hit 2001 subscribers, and that was about 6 months before it actually happened. So I started working on it then, because I knew if I was going to cover 2001, I needed to do my homework, because, come on, it's Stanley Kubrick. As much as I know about 2001, I really wanted to make sure I got my facts right. I really wanted to get my facts right, because it's so easy for me to just think, oh, I know that, and just, like, rattle things off. I've gotten a lot better at fact-checking since I started this channel. In the very beginning, the first couple videos may have some inaccuracies. You go to the comments, you'll find them. But I try not to do that anymore. I try to make sure, double check every single thing I think I know. Faust, Love of the Damned. Sounds like something that Brandon Tenold would cover. I love his channel. Anyway. The Lady in Van Helsing, hot for teacher. Yeah. Not 20... Yes, No Market Media. You made me cover 2010. I would have covered it anyway, but yeah. And like I even said in that video, I do like watching 2010 more than I like watching 2001. But 2001 it's 2001. It's a special movie. Obviously. Great series on the making of 2001. Okay. Cinema Tyler, never even heard of him. I'll look it up. Actually, let me go ahead and write that down. Cinema Tyler, 2001. I know that I watched Collative Learning. He did some videos on 2001 and The Shining and The Thing. And I really love his videos. I love how in-depth he gets, but he's wrong a lot. Like, when he talked about 2001, he's the one who came up with the idea that he was talking about the movie screen, that the monolith was just like a metaphor for a movie screen. It was the right dimensions and everything. I'm like, no, that's not what Kubrick was doing. Not at all. Am I going to do 1 million BC when I hit 1 million subs? That would be a nice goal to have, but I'll probably do it before then. I do have it, and I am ready to go on a review of it, but I don't have it in my queue at the moment. So maybe I'll wait until I have 1 million subs. Maybe something will go viral and I'll explode. You can always hope. My favorite part of Van Helsing was the mass ball scene. Stuck back at sale in a red dress, which is finest cleavage. All right, yeah. Let's see. Van Helsing. I'm looking it up. I just got to see for myself. Just gonna get an image. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, open image, new tab. No, I want the bigger one. There we go. So, one of the cool things we can do in OBS, and this is why I'm here, right, just to figure out how to do this, is I can just add a new window. Okay. Whoa! That was not what I wanted to do. Ah! What have I done? Oh God! Yes! Sorry about that. That was crazy. So I'm supposed to do window, not display. That would be the problem. Where's my window capture? No, I've got another window capture on here. Oh, whatever. This is way more work than it's worth. But there you go. There's Cat Beckinsale. Van Helsing. And now back to my face. Haha. Okay, let's see. Gotta catch up again. Arthur C. Clarke had a cameo. He had 2 cameos in 2010, actually. Thank you, Moncher. Try to tune in again on Sunday. I think I'm probably going to do it early in the day like I did this. But yeah. This is fun! Hopefully I can do it more often. Tenold actually did review Faust recently. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I usually keep up with him, but it's been a few weeks. I got wrapped up in the stupid Amber Heard trial. I'm sorry. Shark's Red Dress in Pearl Harbor. Oh yeah, I forgot she was in that movie. I try to forget that movie. Have to check that out. Thanks for the recommendation. Blade Runner is on the docket. Yes, it is. That's another one that I'm kind of afraid to do, but I'll get to it. I was afraid to do 2001, and I was afraid to do Alien, but I've done them. So, I'll get there. Don't worry. Careful with which window you yeah. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. That was trippy. Sorry. He was a man on a park bench. That's correct. He was the man on the park bench in front of the White House, and he's also on the cover of Time magazine that you see later in the movie, when Dave Bowman's mom is in the nursing home. There's a nurse at a nurse's station, and she drops a magazine on the table. And yeah, you've got Stanley Kubrick and Arthur C. Clarke on the magazine. Like Tears in the Rain. Yeah, I've quoted that before. Many times, actually. Is there a popular classic sci-fi movie you wouldn't review? I really gotta think about that. There might be. Something that's really... It would have to be something that's really, really beloved that I don't like. Because I try to stay positive. And if it's something I don't like and I have good reasons for not liking it, I don't really want to piss off people. I don't want to make a bunch of commenters mad. I know it would probably be good for the clicks. And, you know, I still got a lot of clicks on that Empire Strikes Back video I did. But it's not really my thing. I can't think of any off the top of my head, though. Because I'm such a positive guy, if I watch a movie enough times, I'll find reasons to love it, you know? Like even the movie I just did, Conquest of Space. It's not a good movie. And the first few times I watched it, I really didn't like it, like, at all. But I found reasons to like it. I found enough reasons to like it to do a video on it. And, you know, any chance to talk about a George Powell movie, I'll jump at it. Yeah, true. Did you enjoy No Way Home? Yeah, I loved it a lot. You know, I'm a sucker for Marvel movies, but I'm also a sucker for Spider-Man movies. And that I like how, you know, it brought all the Spider-Men together. It's great. It was cool. But is there anything you want to see in the next trilogy? Hold on, I got to do that snort thing again. So, anything that I have to go through my head of all the Spider-Man villains that they haven't dealt with yet. A lot of them I don't even really like that much. Like, I don't really like Madam Web and Silver Sable. Not really my jam. And I really like how the PS4 game dealt with Mr. Negative, but I don't think Mr. Negative would be very good. I do want to see it. I do want to see him finally confront the Sinister Six, but I want it to be like the real Sinister Six. Like, I don't want them to just pick 6 random villains. I want them to pick 6 villains that fit the Sinister Six. Like, it would have to include Doc Ock, and it would have to include, like, you know, Scorpion is usually in the Sinister Six. Electro is usually in the Sinister Six, but not always. You know, stuff. I want to see that movie. The problem is No Way Home kind of did it. It didn't quite get there, but it did have, like... Did it have 6 villains? I think it only had 5. It had, like, 5 villains, but they weren't all, like, working together. So... Anyway. Have I seen Capricorn 1? I have seen it. I don't remember it, because it's been a very, very long time since I've seen it. And when I was doing 2010 and I saw that he directed Capricorn 1, I'm like, oh, I should go back to that. So I will get to there. I will get there. Blah. I'll watch it. Don't worry. It would be nice to see that Mysterio never died. I actually would love it if they convinced you Mysterio was still alive and then you find out he's really dead. Because that's fitting with Mysterio. Big Wheel. Okay, I would love to see him fight Big Wheel. That would be great. What's an underground or unusual movie you would give a 10 out of 10? I know I've done a couple of videos for movies that I absolutely love that a lot of people don't get, like The Man Who Fell to Earth. It's getting a lot of views right now, my video on that, because there's like an Amazon show or something that's based on The Man Who Fell to Earth. But I would give that movie a 10 out of 10, but a lot of people won't. Like, a lot of people just don't get it. But I'm a big film nerd. And if you are a big film nerd and you like weird underground films, you have to watch Koyaanisqatsi. That's, like, necessary. Let's see. They shouldn't have connected Beck back to Stark. It does kind of annoy me in the MCU how so many of the villains go back to Stark. And they seem to be getting away from that now, but it's still there, and I kind of want them to get past that. I think I didn't mind the Spider-Man movies using Tony Stark as kind of like a father figure for Spider-Man, but I think they took it a little too far. Like, after Homecoming, it should have been less about that. And then, yeah, Mysterio comes in, and he's completely tied in with Stark, and it makes sense, and the writer in me thinks it's really clever how they did that, but at the same time, you're right. I kind of wish that he'd been his own villain and not tied to Tony Stark again. Yeah, and they did that with Vulture. Exactly. My point is made. Has a pretty decent score. Who did it, do you know? Capricorn 1. That's true. No one did say Farrah Fawcett. Oh yeah. I don't want to see. I don't want to see Big Bad as like. I don't want to see Big Wheel as the Big Bad. That would be ridiculous. But yeah, as like an opening scene kind of fight, that would be great. It'd be awesome. I'm trying to think. I'm sorry. I'm stuck on Spider-Man. I'm still trying to think of other villains that we haven't seen. We've seen them. We've seen pretty much all the big ones, right? Like I can't think of any others that we haven't seen. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think they are trying to take their foot off that pedal. The last few movies haven't had anything to do with Stark. Even No Way Home didn't really have anything to do with Stark, did it? Not that I can think of. So yeah, I think they are getting away from it. I think Phase 4 is all about... It's no longer about Tony Stark, okay? Oh, Eraserhead. Heck yeah. Yeah, give me some good David Lynch, man. Yeah. Hey! Is it pronounced Vim? Is that your name? Like, I've seen your name a lot, but I've never actually said it out loud. Wim van der Straeten? I don't know. Sorry if that was offensive. Seconds. No, I've never heard of it, actually. Another, like, underground weird movie that not a lot of people have seen that I really like, I think I've mentioned it in a video or two, is, it's called Suture. It's basically just this weird film noir, and it stars a young President Palmer, the guy from the State Farm commercials. I can't remember the actor's name, but that guy. And he has amnesia, but he's like... It's this weird film noir thing, but it all focuses on the point that he is the identical twin of another character, but the other character looks absolutely nothing like him. I mean, it's a white guy so versus this guy. And the whole idea of the movie is, it's really like film school wankery, but it's like, the idea is what's called the suture effect, which is how you, as an audience member, become sutured with the characters on the screen, especially the protagonist. And so in this case, it doesn't matter what you look like, it doesn't matter who you are, you can put yourself in the shoes of the protagonist. I just like the movie. I think it's really cool and really fun, and very weird. So there you go. That's a good answer. That or Primer, obviously, but I've talked enough about Primer. Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson was in Seconds. Oh, okay. Cool. I'll write that down too. Hold on. Good thing I got this note thing open. Seconds. Rock Hudson. Alright, I'll look into it. I mean, who doesn't like Rock Hudson, right? Yeah, exactly. It feels like in between movies and Spider-Man that Peter doesn't do anything. So it seems weird. It is pronounced Vim. Okay, cool. A Sony exec is a Spider-Man. Hey, haven't I seen that before? That's true. I've done it before. 10 episode seasons, each bridging the gap between the movies and the next trilogy. Yeah, I mean, that's an idea that's gone. I like the idea of taking like a comic book property where you have like multiple movies and doing things in between the movies. Tron actually did that. Between Tron and Tron Legacy, there's that show. I can't remember the name of it, but it's good. Let's see, DCEU. Oh, you really want me to talk about the DCEU? Really? 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 I had high hopes for it. I don't dislike Man of Steel. I actually kind of like it. I thought it was a little too self-serious, but not too bad. Like, I really liked the idea of treating him as an alien and really, like, leaning into that as heavily as you could. I didn't like how they handled Pa Kent. I mean, no offense to Kevin Costner, who's a great actor. But their characterization of Pa Kent was just weird. And then you got Batman v Superman. and Justice League. Yeah. The first Wonder Woman was great. I mean, it wasn't like the best comic book movie ever or anything, but it was exactly what it needed to be. And that No Man's Land scene is, cinema history by now. But Wonder Woman 89 or 84 or whatever year it was, it's one of the worst comic book movies ever. And that's saying something because there's a lot of bad comic book movies out there. Aquaman was fun. I didn't have any problem with Aquaman. I never saw Shazam. So yeah, look, the DCEU is a train wreck. They're like putting a lot of their hopes on the Flashpoint movie, but now we've got Ezra Miller drama. Like really insane, crazy Ezra Miller drama. So they just can't catch a break. Like, I'm talking about Warner Brothers. But I also think that it's Warner Brothers made this bed, and they've got a lie in it. It'll be a while before I think the DCU truly recovers. So we'll see. Tron Uprising. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Freaking love Tron Uprising. Not enough to remember the name, apparently. Oh yeah, the Suicide Squad. I didn't even mind the first Suicide Squad. I mean, it was a mess. But like I said before, I always find reasons to like things. But the Suicide Squad, the James Gunn one, that's incredible. That's a great movie. That might be the best DCEU movie right now. My favorite sci-fi song. What is a sci-fi song? Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto? Yeah, there you go. There's my answer. Considering your 30-year rule, which is cool, I like it. Suggestions to watch rather than review, if you have not. Exit Nowhere, Triangle, and Coherence. Okay, I've never heard of Exit Nowhere, but Triangle and Coherence, I will absolutely agree. Those are great movies. If you haven't seen them, you should see them immediately. They both blew my mind. Triangle was so much better than I expected. Because, it's the Bermuda Triangle. That's stupid. But the movie itself is so much more than that. And so much better than that. That's a great, great movie. And Coherence with the not Tom Hardy. I can't remember that. I can never remember that actor's name. The low-rent Tom Hardy. That was Coherence, right? No, or am I thinking of Invitation? Okay, I'm thinking of Invitation. But Coherence is still a great movie. I like Coherence because I've seen that one too. They're different movies. They're similar, but they're different. So yeah, those are good movies. The 13th Floor. Yeah. Is that Vincent D'Onofrio? I haven't seen it in a long time. Because, yeah, it came out... I think it came out the same year as The Matrix, if not, like, within a year or two. And I remember at the time, I liked it more than I liked The Matrix. And I was always telling people that, and people would always roll their eyes at me. Let's see. They need to recast Flash Thompson? Maybe. I mean, that's not Flash Thompson from the comics, like, at all, but I don't really care. Jedi Rocks, there you go. Favorite moment from Fifth Element? Oh, jeez. My wife and I quote this movie all the time. Favorite moment? Probably that space opera. That, like, obviously digital space opera. I dig it. It's product of its time. It's very cheesy now, but I really like that whole sequence, and it's like intercut with the fight. Yeah. So yeah, there's my answer. 13th Warrior, also a good movie. Yeah. Based off of Eaters of the Dead by Michael Crichton, also based on Beowulf. Yeah, definitely. That was back when Antonio Banderas could play anything. He played a red-headed Irish teenager in Interview with the Vampire. The character was supposed to be, but like he was still Antonio Banderas. And in the 13th Warrior, he's an Arab, which makes no sense. But whatever, it was great. It's a great movie. The Final Countdown, Moon Age Daydream. Yeah, there's a lot of Bowie that would go into sci-fi rock. Sure. Spiders from Mars and all that. And of course, Space Oddity. Which, Even just saying that gets it stuck in my head. Thanks. Yeah, just recast. Oh, you're talking about The Flash. You're talking about Ezra Miller. Okay. Yes, they need to recast. They've already filmed the movie, though. And it's not like Amber Heard and Aquaman 2. You can't just, refilm those 10 minutes. Like, it's the whole movie. Coherence pissed my sister off so much in the first half, but got her in the second half. Yeah, like, Coherence, if you're not patient, I can see how it would just piss you off. There's another one of those kind of like weird underground sci-fi movies. Safety Not Guaranteed. Have anybody seen that? That one's pretty cool. It goes somewhere I did not expect. It started getting into like Cronenberg territory, and going into it, I did not expect Cronenberg type things. Body horror stuff. It was really cool. Extinction is one of the best sci-fi movies I've seen in the last few years. Extinction. Yeah, I don't know that one. I'll add that to the list. Extinction. I'm always looking for cool things to watch on Netflix. Justify that higher subscription cost. Oh, Queen. Yeah, there's a couple of Queens, and even like the Flash Gordon song. Flash. Ah. Not a great song, actually. But it works for the movie, and I love it for the movie. But I've got like a best of Queen album that I listen to a lot, and whenever that one comes on, I'm like, I love this song, but at the same time, I don't want to listen to this song anymore. You know? Has there been some non-sci-fi horror movies you've been wanting to review for the channel? Casablanca. I really, really wish I could do a review of Casablanca. Just figure out a way to squeeze that in there. But it would be like 2001. It's one of those movies that I know so much about that I would have to do a lot of homework to make sure everything I know is right. So yeah, that's my answer. Casablanca. Star Trek the Motion Picture theme. Okay. I would say the Next Generation theme. Pull a Mark Ruffalo. Yeah, sure. Like, why not? Like, why not just recast, you know? It's not hard. But the problem is that the Flashpoint movie's already been made. They can't recast him now, or them, sorry. They can't recast them now. So. Oh, look, my mother is here. Hi, Mom. I love my mom. She's one of my biggest supporters. Okay, bye, Chob. Sorry. Sorry that it's midnight where you are. Oh, yeah, Highlander. Who Wants to Live Forever? Oh, yeah. That's a good song. I like that one. Anyway, we've been doing this almost an hour. You guys still haven't answered all my questions. Let's see. You got number 5 though. I can cross that one off. Gotta remember where all the buttons are. Okay. DS9 does have the best Star Trek theme, probably. Like, it's the TNG theme will always have a special place in my heart. But I do think the DS9 theme is better orchestrated. And of course the Alexander Courage original Star Trek. Come on. I can't. Even the Voyager theme's good. But I will say the Enterprise theme is terrible. I don't like it. Like, at all. And as for New Trek, I don't really know any of the themes off the top of my head. I have nothing against New Trek. It's just I'm not as immersed in it as I was old Trek. So... But if I had to say which series is my favorite, it's DS9. DS9 is the best, especially the back half of it, like the last 3-4 seasons. That's some of the best Star Trek that's ever been done. And I love TNG. I grew up with TNG. I have watched every episode of TNG multiple times. But DS9, I think, is the best Star Trek. So that's true. They did do that. Kevin Spacey and what's his name? Christopher Plummer in that one movie, which I never saw. So it is possible. Expensive, but possible. Hello, Nicole Baker. Good to see you. The Stargate theme. Yeah, good thing Lynn's not here to tell me how awful I am for not having watched a lot of Stargate. Well, I'm glad you can enjoy the cheesiness of the Enterprise theme, Alex. I skip it every time. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was the joke, right? Was that I was saying the TNG theme. It's exactly the same as the motion picture theme. It's the same theme. That was the joke. Anyway, the big five: Paramount, MGM, RKO. I got to get my cheat sheet. I got to make sure I got the answer right. Oh, hello, Kate Beckinsale. I forgot I had that open. Yeah. Okay, what did you say? You said RKO, Paramount, MGM. Yep, those are the first three. You got two more. I knew my mom would get it. Yeah, Fox and Warner. Those are the other two. Yeah, I heard that there was going to be a new Stargate show. In fact, my friend Lynn, who I do the streaming heap with, he's trying to convince me to just to sit down and watch all of Stargate, all the TV shows, one episode at a time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, but we'll see. Yeah, RKO, Warner Brothers, MGM, Fox, Paramount. Get it all? Yeah, those are all five. So we're down to the last one. What Stranger Things guest star gained notoriety as a lizard man in the early 1980s? There's your question. I thought that was the easy one. Zoop. Doop. I guess it depends on whether or not you've seen the most recent season of Stranger Things, which if you haven't and you like Stranger Things, you should. It might be the best season of Stranger Things. You got me to break character. When did I do that? What did I say? Did I say I was sorry? I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. Nope, not Denny Miller. Speaking of RKO, what is your Kong movie rankings? I actually don't like the Peter Jackson version. Sorry. I love, like, if I'm gonna sit down and watch one right now, I'm gonna watch Skull Island. It's goofy. It's got problems, but it's a lot of fun. And I can't say anything bad about the original. It's like the first blockbuster. It's you know. Maniac. Oh, yeah, I have seen Maniac. My wife made me watch it, actually. That was really cool. Unexpected. It's got to be someone from V. You're on the right track. Yep. I mean, there aren't that many other lizard men in the early 80s, right? Yes. Robert Englund did play an alien lizard man in V. He's also a guest star on Stranger Things Season 4. So there we go. We've answered all 5 questions. See, if I'd put something in there about Freddy Krueger, it would have been too obvious. So I had to say something else. And something that like ties into my channel since I covered V. So yes, it's Robert Englund. Robert Englund was in V. He's also in Stranger Things. Al Raoun? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm annoyed. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna write that one down too. So you're saying it was a silent movie and a 50s movie? And those are like two of my favorite genres of sci-fi movies? How do I not know what this is? Yeah, you should watch season 4. It's really, really good. I mean, it's not complete yet. They did it in chunks, but man, it's really good. And the last episode that they've released, I think they've released 7 episodes, and the most recent one, episode 7, it blew me away. Like the way it tied a lot of different storylines together was very unexpected for me. Here, you know what? I'm gonna go back to full screen. Lower my camera a little bit. I lost my light. Sorry. There we go. Where was I? It's a German movie. Well, I guess I should have known just from your name. Yeah, I wrote it down. I'll look into it. I've wanted to do another silent movie. The only silent movie I've covered so far, well, I've covered 2 silent movies so far, Metropolis and Aelita, Queen of Mars. And I've wanted to do another one because both of those I thought were really good. Metropolis is one that I kind of want to redo. Like, I want to do a remaster of it because it was one of my very first videos, and I don't feel like I did as good of a job as I could. Oh, sorry, it's just my creepy music, not my room. Yeah, OG King Kong, Son of Kong would be number 2. Sure, all right. Okay, I got to change the song. It's freaking me out on my headphones. Which I guess is the point of this song, but... There, let's listen to something different. There we go. So yeah, this is all homemade music, obviously, so no copyrights. Yeah, I love Metropolis, too. Like, that's the only silent movie, I think, that I could just pop in and watch. Like, usually silent movies you have to really be invested in. You really have to pay attention, because you gotta read. And Metropolis, despite being one of the longest silent movies that I've watched, not the longest, I've seen Greed. I've seen the extended version of Greed. I watched it in film school because I had to. Not because I wanted to, but because I had to. But yeah, Metropolis, I'll watch it. I do like watching Metropolis. I think it's fascinating. And you know, anything by Fritz Lang is good. Like, I'll watch M. Anyway, let's see. The 90s Outer Limits. Actually, I haven't yet. I'm working my way through the original Outer Limits right now, because a little more behind the scenes, I'm working on making little mini reviews of the Outer Limits TV show. Or just any old TV show, but I'm starting with the Outer Limits. And I'm actually going to go episode by episode. I'm going to do the whole show. And I'm thinking if it turns out to be really easy to make these videos, which it might be, because I'm not actually going to be going in depth or anything like I do with my main videos. I'm just going to be, you know, just talking about what I think of this episode. You know, I might, it might only take me like, you know, a couple hours to put one together. So if that happens, what I'm thinking of doing is uploading one of those every single week, like on a Thursday, so that, you know, I get more of a schedule on my channel, which gets you more subscribers, which gets you more traffic, which, you know, ultimately gets you more pennies. So, you know, I can buy more than just, you know, 1 or 2 sodas. I can buy like 4. It'd be great. Kevin Conway was in it. Wow, I didn't know that. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you loved my review of Metropolis. I can't watch any of my videos that are that old, especially like... this didn't happen with Metropolis, but a lot of my older videos, I didn't have the aspect ratio right when I was like ripping the actual video. And so like a lot of my old videos, like the screen looks stretched. And it didn't bother me when I was making those videos. It didn't bother me at the time. But now if I go back and try to watch one of them, it bothers the crap out of me. Especially like the one I really want to redo just for that is Forbidden Planet. Because the screen is so stretched on that one. But yeah, Metropolis is definitely the granddaddy of cyberpunk. And steampunk too. Yeah. It's not that I don't think Peter Jackson did a bad job. I think he did a great job. I mean, he definitely like got the style right, and the visual effects were good. It's just, it's a really, really long movie, and it feels like it. And as much as like Peter Jackson did a great job with Lord of the Rings, which are also really long, but for some reason that length just doesn't work for me with King Kong. King Kong should be a snappier spectacle. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of what my brain tells me. I remember I went to go see it in the theater with my wife. She walked out. She couldn't sit through the whole thing. But I, bound and determined. I've only walked out of one movie in my entire life, and it wasn't that. So, have I seen Moonfall? No, I have not seen Moonfall. Not yet. That's Roland Emmerich, right? Yeah, I know the twist, but I won't ruin it just in case there's anybody watching who hasn't seen it. Yes, Metropolis is a masterpiece. Absolutely. Yeah, you got to watch it with the original score. Yeah, the 80s version. It's kitschy and kind of fun just for its kitschy value, but it's not. You're not watching Metropolis. You're watching an 80s music video with footage from Metropolis. Yeah, Nosferatu's cool. You can just, yeah, you don't need the dialogue in Nosferatu. You're right. You can just cut that out completely and just watch it. I love Forbidden Planet too, and you know why I love Forbidden Planet, Mom? It's because my dad. It was like his favorite sci-fi movie, and deservedly so. It's one of the best sci-fi movies of all time. I'm glad you liked it, and I'm glad your kid liked it. Like, I've said many times on this channel, I don't want to tell you to not like something that you like. Like, I would rather like something that other people don't like than to not like something that other people do like, if that makes sense. So yeah. The Island of Lost Souls. Yeah, I had to cover that one. Just because it's so overlooked. Because not a lot of people talk about it. And it was like right in that sweet spot, right in that pre-code sweet spot where you could get away with just about anything in a horror movie. And it was, right after Frankenstein and Dracula, before Invisible Man. Perfect, Great place. Hey, I mean, like I said, Alex, I'm glad you liked it. Like I was saying to Charles, like, apparently I'm in the minority for not liking 2005 King Kong. I'm sorry. Maybe I should watch it again. I haven't seen it in years. Yes, I know Moonfall's been the butt of your joke, your channels. Yeah, I know, No Market Media. I do watch all of your videos. Sometimes it takes me a while, but usually what'll happen is after a couple of weeks of, me being busy doing other things, I'll like watch a whole bunch. I'll like marathon like 7 or 8 of your videos. So if you haven't heard me comment on your videos recently, that's why. Oh yeah, Radio Gaga. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to remake Nosferatu. That Werner Herzog version. Is that the one with Willem Dafoe? Is that the one you're talking about? It's not really a remake of Nosferatu. It's like a story about the making of Nosferatu, but he is really a Nosferatu. I have strongly considered, Moncher, doing Nosferatu as a horror review in October. Okay, you're right, Mom. His favorite sci-fi movie was actually Somewhere in Time. Okay, you got me there. I guess you know him better than I do. You did know him longer, so. What's the cutoff for a classic? It's 30 years old. I love your name, by the way, Baked Bean. That's great. You haven't watched Forbidden Planet since high school? Man, I don't think at any point in my life have I gone more than maybe 2 or 3 years without watching Forbidden Planet. And I mean that. Like, maybe when I was really little, maybe when I was a baby, I hadn't seen it until I was like 5 or 6. But since then, at least every 3 years. At least. So, there we go. You hate Godzilla? Get off my channel. Get off! I'm kidding. Reasonable minds can differ, as one of my other YouTube friends says. Anyway. So Werner Herzog actually did make a Nosferatu. Okay. I gotta look that up. I love Werner Herzog. I can't believe I didn't know that. That's crazy. I'm learning all kinds of crazy things here. My problem with most Dracula movies is I'm usually bored after we leave Transylvania. Now see, this is like the inverse of Kong. Like, I don't have that problem. I don't know. Yeah, Dracula movies always entertain me from beginning to end. Like, even bad Dracula movies. Even, like, Hammer Dracula movies. I love every single one of them. Kinski is perfect. You can't replace Kinski. Oh, you're saying Kinski... I get it now. I get what you're saying. Kinski was Orlok. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I'll look into that. Yeah, I've been waiting to get to another movie that has a bunch of cars in it. So, and I know you're dying to talk about Jurassic Park. So, we're like, what, a year away? Maybe? I don't know exactly. Oh man, Dark City. I keep promising my patrons I'm going to do a bonus video on Dark City, and I just never get to it. um, that is one of my favorite movies. I absolutely adore Dark City. I did make a bonus video for my patrons about Alex Proyas, the director. He did The Crow. He did that, and then his career just kind of went downhill. And I've always wondered. I've always been fascinated by directors who start really, really strong and just kind of like descend into their own like navel gazing. Like the classic example these days is M. Night Shyamalan. But directors like that who just like get so full of themselves and all the hype they got at the beginning of their careers that they just like make crap. like, and I'll defend a lot of M. Night Shyamalan movies, and I'll defend a lot of Alex Proyas' other movies, like iRobot. I actually love iRobot. But still, like, you can just see the trajectory of their filmmaking skill and talent, and it's weird to me that that can happen, that you can go from a place of extreme talent and get worse. Like, I always thought the trajectory was supposed to go the other way. You're supposed to get better and better and better, you know? Oh, yeah. Whenever you see Leslie Nielsen in a serious role, it's weird. And I like him in Poseidon Adventure. He's the captain, right? Yeah. The Lost World is the only truly good Jurassic Park sequel. I like them all. The one I will happily bash is not the most, not, I haven't seen the most recent one, but the one before that, Fallen Kingdom. I will get all in on a hate bashing session of that one, because there's a lot of problems with it. It's not a good movie, but I still enjoy it. Again, I find reasons to like things, you know? And if it entertains me, it entertains me. I did do a Metropolis review. It's one of my oldest reviews. I think it's like the third or fourth video I ever did, because that's another movie that's really close to my heart. You know, it's one I know a lot about, and it's one that I did a lot of research for in college when I was a film student. So, the Spanish version of Dracula, absolutely. Yep, it's really good. In some ways, I think it's even better than the English language version. I think it's better filmed. The Spanish Dracula's, he's not as good as, you know, Bela Lugosi, but the actual like filmmaking, using the same sets and the same script, but everything's in Spanish with different actors and different camera angles and different editing. I just feel like the actual filmmaking nuts and bolts is better in the Spanish version than in the English version, which is weird to me. Let's see. Thrash. What are we talking about? My mom and Thrash are talking about Mr. Lee. I'm assuming you mean Christopher Lee. Are you talking about the Hammer movies? Because, yeah, Christopher Lee. Bela Lugosi. Jurassic World's obvious plot hole to get the plot going notwithstanding, it is entertaining. I defend Jurassic World a lot more than I expect, because like it isn't a well-crafted movie and the plot is very janky, but I really like the central idea of it, the like meta take on it. I thought that was very clever and could have been done really, really well, and it was still like an entertaining movie. My biggest thing that I think would have fixed its biggest problems was just taking the character played by Chris Pratt and the character played by Bryce Dallas Howard and switching them. Making Bryce Dallas Howard the Velociraptor Wrangler and make Chris Pratt the corporate stooge, who realizes what's going on and tries to fix things. I really feel like that would have been a more interesting dynamic and would have made more of an interesting character story. Like the actual like story of the park is great. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like the character dynamics they feel really generic, and Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, I like them, but they don't really work for me in the Jurassic World series. So take that for what it is. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I get that feeling you get when you like a series, but it goes on too long and you kind of wish they would just stop. and that they had stopped, you know, the whole, a lot of people wish that Terminator stopped at Terminator 2. I don't feel that way about a lot of things. I think it's fine to keep going. And I think if you're going to make a new sequel to something, you know, call me Annie Wilkes, but I think you should respect what came before. Even the stuff you don't like. That's why the soft reboot just pisses me off. I don't like soft reboots. I don't like saying, you know what, the third movie was terrible, so let's just pretend it didn't happen and try again. I don't know. You shouldn't be able to do that. The writer in me is infuriated by the laziness of that. Now, there are some cases where it's justified, like Halloween. Because in the Halloween series, the continuity is already all screwed up. I mean, it's all a big bad word. It's it's messed up. It's very messed up. So like the idea of resetting and saying the first movie is the only movie that matters makes a lot more sense in that context. But for something like Terminator or Aliens, I don't like it. I love Neil Blomkamp, but I don't think you should erase the rest of the Alien movies and just make a sequel to Aliens. I don't think you can do that. No. But, you know, I guess whatever. Different strokes to rule the world, right? Dracula Dead, loving it. I haven't seen it since it came out. I remember feeling like it was disappointing, but maybe now that I know so much more about Dracula, I probably like it more. Because, you know, Mel Brooks, he's a classic film nerd just like me. So, yeah, I like all the Jurassic movies, just some more than others. Exactly. That's kind of the way I feel. The first one is the only one I would actually call a great film, but the rest of them are all, you know, they're good, they're entertaining, you know? Things to Come. I'm trying to get my hands on Things to Come. If you know where I can find a copy that isn't like $50, let me know. I haven't covered Hitchcock. But man, I love Hitchcock. Top 5. Well, Psycho, Rear Window, Rope, Man Who Knew Too Much. The second one, not the original. Like the one you know. He made one a lot earlier in his career that's not as good. It's not The Birds. I don't like The Birds. I know I'm weird. I don't like it. His last one. If it's in my top 5, I should be able to name it, right? No, I got it. Strangers on a Train. That would definitely be on my top 5. So yeah, here we go. Okay, I got to scroll up a little. I got sidetracked. Aliens is my favorite sequel. Actually, prefer it to the first. Yeah. I remember a long time ago when I was more heavily invested in my blog, I did a blog of like the best sequels, and Aliens was my number 1. That is the absolute best sequel ever. It even beat out Godfather 2. I just think it does. It's everything a sequel should be. You know, it's the same but more, and at the same time, it's kind of doing its own thing. It's not trying to copy the original. Like, it's not a straight horror movie like the original. It's actually more of a, strictly speaking, it's a Vietnam movie. But yeah, it's the perfect sequel. Absolutely. Children of the Night. Okay. Ignoring movies for this. Yeah, kinda. Sorry, I'm responding to comments you can't actually see. So, yeah, I like the idea of prehistoric animals suddenly being reintroduced and we're forced to coexist with them. I'm not opposed to the idea of the movie. I just think Colin Trevorrow is not a very good director or writer. Speaking of Blomkamp, I love Elysium. Yeah. My Blomkamp movie that I love that everybody else seems to hate is Chappie. I adore Chappie. It's great. And one of these days I'll talk about why I love it so much. But a lot of people don't like it. I guess it's because a lot of people don't like Das Antwoord, the, you know, South African rap people. But they're fine. I actually think they're kind of fun. So whatever. The Lawnmower Man. Yeah, it did come of age this year. It is on my list. Don't worry. I watched a lot of The Lawnmower Man when I was a kid. And if I did a video on it now, which, you know, I probably will soon, I would talk a lot about the CGI. Because Yeah, that's what made that movie so special at the time. Um, anyway, yes, The Lawnmower Man definitely fits my criteria as a sci-fi classic, and so does Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I don't know if I would cover the sequel, but I would definitely cover the original because I grew up with it. You know, the idea of the giant ant and the gigantic oatmeal cream pie. I still think about that. Maybe that's why I'm diabetic. Zygote for the Oats Studio series. Okay. North by Northwest in 39 Steps. Okay, yeah, there are some Hitchcock movies I didn't consider off the top of my head. Vertigo, of course. How could I not mention Vertigo? Jesus. I have to go back and rethink the whole thing. The Day the Earth Caught Fire. Yeah, yeah. I did a video on that. How would you write a JP movie set on Isla Sorna after 3? I don't know. But like I said, I wouldn't ignore Jurassic World, and I have to see how the last movie deals with, you know, the whole world being infested with dinosaurs before I get there. So anyway, Mom, why do you keep deleting your comments? I have no idea what you said, and it just tickles my curiosity. Let's see. Am I ever going to review Mac and Me? Yes, I am. But I'm not going to tell you when. Young Frankenstein. Yep. I do want to cover some Mel Brooks movies. I want to cover Young Frankenstein and I want to cover Spaceballs. I'm just not really sure how. Because, like, my style is so, like, serious and analytic. To talk about a comedy just seems a little weird. I mean, I did it with Weird Science, and even that felt awkward to me. But yeah, I do want to do it. I definitely want to do it. I also want to do Rocky Horror Picture Show. I could make a whole video just on the opening song alone, like all the different sci-fi classics, the song references, you know? Half man, half lawnmower. That reminds me of another great sci-fi classic I want to cover that I'm not sure I can even get away with. I might get demonetized for covering it, and that's Frankenhooker. It starts with somebody getting killed by a lawnmower. Tom Hanks's Finch. Yeah, I really wanted to see that. I haven't seen it yet. I have Apple Plus, so I'll catch it one of these days. It's just because of the streaming heap. My streaming pleasure is restricted these days. The worst sci-fi movie you've seen, like it's unwatchable. An unwatchable sci-fi movie. Controversial, but Barbarella came pretty close. The jokes just never landed for me. Maybe it's because I'm too old, or not old enough. like I wasn't around when that movie came out. Yeah, but one that's so bad it's unwatchable. Wing Commander. Wing Commander. Another one of those movies that I probably should have walked out on, but didn't. I went just to see the Star Wars Episode 1 teaser trailer that was in front of the movie. And then I sat through the whole movie. That was bad. There was that one part where you got the German actor who was in Das Boot playing the same role, but like on a spaceship, and they have to hide in an asteroid so that the aliens, who are, you know, basically giant tigers because this is Wing Commander, they can't hear him because he's got to be really quiet on the spaceship hiding in the asteroid in space. Yeah, Wing Commander. Anything I'd like to see in the next Suicide Squad film. As long as James Gunn's doing it, he can do whatever he wants. Like, that's kind of the attitude I take with James Gunn, is that if I was told what he was going to do, like if I had been told that he was making a Suicide Squad movie with Starro as the main villain, I would have said that's stupid. I would have said there's no way that could possibly be a good movie. That sounds dumb. And yet it's the best DCEU movie to date, probably. So yeah, as long as James Gunn's doing it, whatever. He can do whatever he wants. Because I trust him. I really do. I actually have liked him since long ago, since his Trauma days. Which a lot of people don't like him for his Trauma days, but I liked him even way back then. I knew his name back in like 2000. So yes, Mel Brooks did produce The Elephant Man and The Fly, which, yeah. Yep. Yeah, Brooks Film has done a lot of movies you wouldn't expect to have done. Like, they're definitely not comedies. Yeah. Yes, Kelly LeBrock is the reason to watch Weird Science. Yeah. Yeah, Jurassic World does ignore Isla Sorna. You're right. Like, Isla Sorna is not even a thing in Jurassic World. But if you're going to go back to Isla Sorna, like I said, I have to know how the last one ends, and I haven't seen it yet. So, and don't spoil it for me. I'm going to see it, I swear. I could have done it today, but I wanted to do this instead. I'm having too much fun to stop doing this. Let's see. They do refer back to... They refer to Site B, do they? Really? I don't remember. Oh god, here we go again with Wing Commander and No Market Media. I got in trouble last time I did that. That one movie I walked out of. Okay, you listen to this silly song and I'll decide whether or not to tell you. Yeah, you too, Nicole. Have a great day. I'm glad to see you here. I look like I was only born in the late 70s, early 80s. There's a reason for that. It's because I was born in the late 70s. I was born in 1978. Yeah, my mom already answered the question. She beat me to it. I guess she would know better. She was there. I mean, I was there. I just don't really remember it. Meet the Feebles, Brain Dead. Oh, yeah, Peter Jackson. Again, yeah, just like with James Gunn. I knew who Peter Jackson was before Lord of the Rings. I know I kind of sound like a hipster when I do that. I liked him before he was cool. But yeah, I did. Thoughts on the Dark Crystal? I love it. I grew up with it. The Skeksis kind of scared the poop out of me as a kid. I loved it. It's great. I haven't actually seen the revival show. Is that on Netflix, I think? And I remember being really excited for it too. I just never got to it. I guess I wasn't that excited. DS9. God, how is that even a question, DS9 or Voyager? It's DS9. Like, who's going to say Voyager? And if you say Voyager, you're just wrong. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but you're still just wrong. Oh, I am a young one with knowledge. I pride myself on it. I'm an old soul, as they say. Remember, my godmother calls me that all the time. Like, every time I talk to my godmother, she's like, you're an old soul. So, yeah. Oh, so you're not that much older than me, Thrash. You're right, nobody does talk about the Frighteners. That was a weird movie. I wasn't really sure what the tone of the Frighteners was supposed to be. Like, was it supposed to be a horror? Was it supposed to be a comedy? Was it supposed to be a horror comedy? I don't feel like it nails that. Like, it's not a bad movie. I do like it. And I like Jake Busey. Yeah, I like him. And I like, my brain is not working. What's his name? The main character. The Ferris Bueller. Anyway, yeah, I do like The Frighteners. I haven't seen it in a really long time, so maybe that's why I haven't talked about it in a long time. Age of Resistance, that's what it was called. Thank you. I did like Enterprise during its original run. I defended Enterprise a lot. I liked it from the very beginning. Even there are some episodes of the first season that are not very good, but I loved it. My mom is here. She'll tell you. We used to all sit down together as a family and watch it every time it came on. Like, I didn't live there anymore, but I would go home and sit in the big bonus room that we had and watch Enterprise. That and 24. Yeah. So, yeah, I always loved Enterprise. The third season is my favorite season, if you want to know. The one about, where it's one storyline. Excuse me. The not so subtle 9/11 parallels and stuff. I thought that was great. And the one episode where they clone Trip is one of my favorite episodes of all of Star Trek. Like, it's great. Anyway, yes, I loved Enterprise. I still love Enterprise. And the only episode I will not defend is the very last episode. That last episode is not good. Yeah, I'm not sitting here telling you Voyager's a bad show. I did enjoy some of it, and I really liked some of the characters, but as a whole thing, DS9 is better. And don't get me wrong, DS9 had some terrible episodes too, especially in the first couple seasons where they weren't really sure what they were doing. Like, the show didn't really find its identity until 3 or 4 seasons in. Like, it's good it had the luxury to be around that long, but there were some wonky episodes early on. Oh, my mom's getting some love. I really want to watch Strange New Worlds. I want to watch it so bad, because it does. It looks like it's got that old Star Trek feel, that like adventure, wagon train to the stars kind of feel. It looks like everything I want out of a Star Trek show. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I only just finished Picard, and I still haven't finished Discovery, so like I'm behind. Dark Crystal is the only feature film with no mention of Earth or humans. Huh. Okay. Like, my brain wants me to say, no, of course not. There's got to be another one. But I can't think of anything, so... Okay. Sure. I haven't seen Bright Lights, Big City since I was a kid. So maybe I should see it, because I barely remember anything about it. Episodes of the original Star Trek, but I've never been a fan. I've always preferred Star Wars. Hey, to each his own, man. I love both. Why not both? You know? You're allowed to love both. It's okay. The Xindi and the Delphic Expanse. Exactly. Love it. Yeah, TNG branching into DS9, that's prime Star Trek for me. That's the Star Trek I grew up on. I still like the original cast, especially the movies, because again, I grew up with the movies. But yeah, DS9 and TNG, kind of like my bread and butter Star Trek. Gojira or King of the Monsters 54? Oh wow, that is a very hard question, an almost impossible question. Like I did a video specifically on King of the Monsters because I feel like it gets overshadowed too much. People just look at it as a cash grab, which it wasn't. That's not what it was. It was actually very lovingly respectful of the original and was trying to bring it to a wider audience in the only way that you could back then. And who doesn't love Perry Mason and Godzilla, you know? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. I really don't. Because I love them both, but for different reasons. Like, I know they're basically the same movie, but... Yeah, I don't have an answer. I will say that the Godzilla 85 American version is terrible. It's not good. So, yeah. Can't catch lightning in a bottle twice. What do I feel about Babylon 5? I don't know how I feel about Babylon 5 because it's one of my blind spots. I never saw Babylon 5. I think I watched the first few episodes, but I thought they were boring at the time, and I was a kid, so what did I know? I felt the same way about the movie Alien Nation back then, but I've watched it since, and I think it's really good. So, I don't know. Do I watch Red Letter Media? No, I don't, but I mean, I've seen a few videos from Red Letter Media, and I do think they're funny. It's just I don't regularly follow them because, there's only so many channels you can follow. The Bay. Well, yeah, that's probably where I'm going to have to go to get things to come. The Storyteller. That sounds vaguely familiar. I'm going to write that down because it sounds like something I've seen, and like my brain is telling me I have, but I can't really picture it. Real Genius. Yes, I do want to cover Real Genius. I put it up to a Patreon vote like a month or two ago, and it lost to Flight of the Navigator, which is what I'm doing now. But yeah, it's definitely high on my priority list. I want to get to it because I love that movie, and my wife loves that movie. We watch it all the time, so... And it's another one I quote all the time. I say moral imperative all the time. This is a moral imperative, so. Hey, Martial Arts Film Freak is back. I'm still here. This has become like a really big thing. I thought I was only going to be here for like half an hour, but here we are, an hour and a half into it. Do I have any interest in the Stargate series? Yeah, I do want to see it. It's just like, it's kind of daunting. Like, I have a lot of catch-up to do. Like, I loved the movie, but that's all I've seen of Stargate. So I've got a lot of homework, It's the same reason why I've never gotten into Doctor Who. It's not that I have anything against Doctor Who. It's just I'm too much of a completionist. I don't want to just jump in the middle and just start watching it. I have to go back. And when you're talking about Doctor Who, there's a lot of back to go to. And the first few seasons, as I understand it, are very hard to watch nowadays. So anyway. Wow. Okay, Babylon 5 apparently is scarily prescient. John Hurt was the storyteller. That does sound familiar. I've definitely seen it. It's just been... It's locked in my brain somewhere. Future Cops. Okay. Sure. Future Cops. Still trying to figure out a video that I can do with you, Martial Arts Film Freak. So I'm trying to find a movie that works. You mentioned one, and I've already forgotten what it was, and I tried to track it down, and I couldn't. That was a while ago, though. Anyway. Okay. See you later, Thrash. I should probably wrap this up soon, too. Buckaroo Banzai, also, that's definitely on my list, don't worry. Yeah, I've seen some of the effects from the first few seasons of Doctor Who, and it's pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, didn't Doctor Who, like, have there was, like, a long hiatus, and then it had the revival with, like, David Tennant and stuff, right? I don't know if I'm getting my facts right, but I've been told that that's, if you really want to be a completionist and watch Doctor Who, you should probably start there. And if you really like it and you really like where it's going, you can go back and watch the crappier, older Doctor Who. But yeah. Yeah, I've got a friend of mine who had that problem with Star Trek, and he and I, we didn't watch it together, like, in the same room, but, like, he would watch an episode and I would watch an episode and then we'd talk about it. And we did that for a lot. We did it for the original series, and then we did it for The Next Generation, and then we got, like, a season or two into DS9, and then, you know, things come up, things happen, and it just kind of dropped off. You can actually still find it on my website if you know where to click. I still have those, like, reviews of each episode. Anyway. Oh, hi, Dova. That's my mother's housekeeper. The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. Okay. I will write that down too. Look into it. Also, if anybody can come up with a sci-fi classic that has magic in it, I've got another friend who I'm dying to do a video with, Siler, but we just can't find the right movie. Super Inframan. I have heard of that. Well, yeah, Equilibrium is, yeah. I don't think that really qualifies. I mean, it's like really, it's not 30 years old yet. I think that's like 2001, 2000. No, it came out before The Matrix, so it would probably be 98, 99. I don't know. I have to look that up. And Guyver. Yeah. Yeah, it was actually something you mentioned before you mentioned Guyver. I can't remember what it was. I had it written down in my old phone, and then I, changed phone and lost it. Who would I cast as Black Cat? I don't know, man. I'm not really well versed in younger actresses, so. Nobody has reviewed Poltergeist? You gotta be kidding me. Maybe I'll add that to my potential October list. Right alongside Nosferatu. I just hit puberty, apparently. Right after I do Nosferatu. Yeah, Star Wars it's such a... It's hitting that saturation point where if you don't know anything about Star Wars, you can't really jump in anymore. Marvel's getting that way very quickly, too, especially with the shows. Willow. Aren't they doing a show? Yeah, they're doing a show of Willow now on Disney Plus. I'm not going to cover Caravan of Courage, okay? I'm just not. Maybe I will. Maybe that could be fun to talk about the behind the scenes stuff. I'd have to find it though, and I think George Lucas may have, salted the earth where he burned the ground for all that information. Das Boobs. That sounds great. Yeah, definitely. I actually haven't seen The Bad Batch. I'm sure that No Market Media has a lot to say on the matter. I haven't actually watched it yet. I haven't finished Rebels. I never saw the last season of the Clone Wars. So I've got a lot of catching up to do to get into the more ancillary Star Wars stuff. That may come as a surprise to No Market Media. But that's also why I haven't watched the review of the last season of the Clone Wars and their reviews of the Bad Batch and stuff like that. It's because I haven't watched them yet. But I will. One day. Someday. The House with a Clock in the Walls. That was fun. It's recent, though. Like, really recent. It was like, 2 years ago? This is weird. I remember liking it, but I also remember thinking this is weird. Like, not in a good way. Whatever, for whatever that's worth. Anyway, we've been doing this almost 2 hours, and this isn't actually the official Q&A. The Cat from Outer Space. Yeah. That is on my list. There was a video I did. I think it was on my Tron video. I mentioned it. And then once I mention it and I get a clip from it, I'm like, I should add that to the list. That happens to me a lot. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you all for joining me for this test stream. If you really want to do it again, I'll be back in a couple of days. 2008. Really? Was that long ago? Maybe I only saw it like a couple of years ago. Yeah, because we got it off of Netflix. Yeah, until very recently, we're still getting physical discs from Netflix. We stopped just because the price went up and we have other expenses and we weren't actually watching them anymore. Like, I had the same DVD like on my shelf for like 4 months. And, like, this is a waste of money at this point. Magic and sci-fi is tough. It's hard. Maybe we can do Star Wars together. Like, because Star Wars, the Force is magic. I mean, it is. It's not midi-chlorians, it's magic. Anyway, yep. Thank you all. Love you guys. You guys are great. And I will see you next time. I'm going to go ahead and stop now. Let's see what happens.